If this shipping problem doesn't get fixed by next week, August 1st, 2023, it could cost resellers hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in shipping costs. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, ProEcommercelister, your one-stop shop for listing services. Simply take photos of your inventory, upload them into our system in our mobile app or website, and we do the rest. Titles, descriptions, conditions, item specifics, return times, handling times, and shipping policies. You simply price your item and make them live on the platform. Contact ProEcommercelister below at www.proecommercelister.com or email us at proecommercelister@gmail.com for full instructions and pricing. And thank ProEcommercelister for being a sponsor of the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right, you guys. Unfortunately, it looks like in 1 week, today is Sunday the 23rd of July, that on August 1st, 2023, UPS could go on strike. All of their delivery drivers, especially their part-timers, which is the big subject of contention over their pay, which is currently $20 an hour. They're looking for more money because they handle a ton of the work, like 80% of the work. UPS drivers, for all of their ground deliveries and all of their domestic transportation, is looking to strike. It's tens of thousands, I believe hundreds of thousands of employees. And what's worse, they have the support of the UPS air traffic pilots and UPS air employees, who also said they're not willing to fly if the ground transportation employees and the Teamsters and union don't get what they want, and they have to go on strike on August 1st, that the air pilots and air traffic of UPS is also going to strike in solidarity with them. They will not cross the picket lines, which means effectively they're not going to get in the planes and they're not going to fly the packages. So there'll be no ground transportation, no air transportation. UPS is going to be crippled on August 1st unless they come up with an 11th hour agreement over the pay and the benefits and whatever else they're arguing about. This is potentially devastating. I ship everything USPS because I have a ton of what was formerly First Class, now Ground Advantage. But all of my wholesale boxes, those of you that order off my wholesale site, whether it's remotes or clothing or electronics or whatever it is, at the website that I use below that I link in the Shopify store, all those packages ship UPS. I'll give you a great example. If you order a 100-piece remote box that's available up on the site right now, and let's say you live in Texas, I live in Florida, UPS ground is probably, give or take, those packages weigh right around 20 pounds. A box of remotes is like 18 to 22, depending on the remotes. They cost like 20 bucks, 22 bucks, 19, $21, just depends. If I ship that same box USPS priority, it's like $42, $45. If I ship it USPS parcel, which no longer exists also, it was in the mid 30s up to $40. Ground Advantage, I would have to check, but it's at least 50% more money. I would be spending a fortune, and I couldn't offer them to you at the price that I do. I know a lot of you guys and girls ship via UPS for large packages on eBay. Also, people that ship into Amazon, FBA packages, you guys ship using UPS boxes generally for the most part. I know some of them are FedEx, but a lot of them are UPS. So this could be quite devastating for resellers and e-commerce and just traffic, package traffic across the country. It could be devastating, crippling. So I think it's best, I'll go show you the story, and then if you have something you'd like to add or input, please do in the comment section below. I'd really, really appreciate that. And with that, let's go over and take a look at the UPS strike story. All right, so this story is from CBS News. The UPS workers are poised for the biggest U.S. strike in 60 years. The story by Irina Ivanova. Here's what you need to know. So they start off talking about a story of Jason Flynn, who is a part-time UPS package sorter, that he got the job in 15 minutes. What he doesn't love is that he's earning $18 an hour pay to move 70-pound packages every few seconds, and the noxious air from the exhaust of trucks and the supervisors yelling at you to keep it moving. Since suffering an injury earlier this year, he's only been able to work 1 or 2 shifts a week at the Chicago facility and has to supplement his pay with dog walking or food delivery gigs. You have to constantly make money up somewhere else. He biked 40 minutes each way to work instead of taking the train, and adds that he hasn't paid his rent this month. I'm assuming this was July 21st. Flynn is among the thousands of part-time employees at UPS pushing for higher pay, as the Teamsters Union, which represents 340,000 UPS workers, a third of a million workers, and the delivery giant resume contract negotiations next week. If no deal is reached by July 31st, so essentially they have next week until Friday or Saturday to get it done. The union has vowed to walk off the job in what would be America's biggest strike in 60 years. Here's what you need to know. So what are the issues? The major outstanding issue is pay. Of course, that's usually what it is. Particularly for the part-time UPS workers, which I mentioned, who make up 60% of the company's workforce. I apologize, I thought it was 80%, but it's 60%. Part-time workers at UPS start at $16.20 an hour. Well, according to the new federal minimum wage, that's $1.20 over what the new $15 an hour minimum wage will be. So not great for what they do. UPS notes that part-timers make an average of $20 an hour after 30 days on the job. So not terrible. $20 an hour for part-timers, remember this is part-timers, after only just 1 month on the job is not horrendous. So you're talking about $20 an hour, 40-hour work weeks, $800 times 52 hours. They're making like $40-some thousand a year for part-time if they had full-time hours at $20 an hour. So part-time, we'll just say 20 hours, so they're making half that. They're only making $22,000, $24,000 part-time. So yeah, maybe not that good. While enjoying the same health care and pension benefits as full-time workers. So they do get the same benefits, so that's really good. However, the starting pay is far below what full-time UPS workers make for doing the same job. While neither the union nor UPS have disclosed the latest pay proposals on the bargaining table, some workers are pushing for starting pay of $25 an hour. So an extra $5 an hour part-time is $100 a week, $5,200 a year. So that's what they're asking for if they're working 20 hours a week. Maybe a little more, $6,000, $7,000 if they're putting in more hours. The same amount they were making in 1983 when adjusting for inflation. I don't think it's asking anything crazy to have equal pay doing the same jobs as full-timers inside the building. Full-time workers at UPS, most of whom are delivery truck drivers, can make $95,000 a year or more, but they represent a minority of the workforce and face their own challenges, such as often brutal heat on the job. So $95,000 a year, I mean almost $100,000 a year, that's $2,000 a week at, 40 hours is like $50 an hour, right? Is my math wrong there? That's 2.5 times what they're making. That's a lot. The median UPS employee made $52,000 a year, according to the company's security filings. CEO Carol Tomei made $18.9 million that year, down from $27 million the year before. Oh my God! A UPS worker making even $50,000 a year, 20 years is $1 million. 40 years is $2 million. It would take 10 employees to make what they made in 1 year. That's nuts. We're prepared to increase our industry-leading pay and benefits, but need to work quickly to finalize a fair deal that provides certainty for our customers, our employees, and businesses across the country, UPS said in a statement on Wednesday. The labor talks, while fitful, have succeeded in resolving some issues, including making Martin Luther King Jr. Day a paid holiday and installing air conditioning and heat shields in delivery trucks where summer temperatures often shoot above 110 degrees. Here in Florida, Phoenix, of course, Texas, everywhere like that. So it would be the biggest walkout since 1959, and strikes up 50% in 2022. How are workers preparing for a strike? The Teamsters have been holding practice pickets for months in preparation for a strike, and since last fall have encouraged members to put money aside so they have the financial cushion in case of a walkout. That's just not realistic for most people. They can't just put money aside. People are struggling to pay the rent like that guy, yet they want them to put money aside. Yeah, good luck. Jose Francisco Negrete, a part-time package sorter and 25-year veteran at UPS in Anaheim, California, said he started saving last year, putting away $55 with every paycheck. So $220 a month if he gets paid weekly. Not really a ton of money. Probably around September, I said, you know what? If I need to take out money for an emergency, I will, but I'm not going to touch it. I've been telling members to save as well. If we do strike, we need to be prepared. In the event of a work stoppage, workers would get strike pay totaling 5 times their union membership dues. Negrete said for him that would provide a weekly check of about $350, just under half his usual earnings. Despite the financial risk, he still thinks it's worth pushing for higher pay long term. The contract is about respect, he said. The UPS is willing to take $2.8 billion in profit and give it to the part-timers. Profit that was generated by us, by the rank and file. We need to exert as much power as we can and fight for as much as we can. UPS preparing for a strike. UPS is girding for a possible strike by training non-union employees at the company to work in warehouses. For now, most businesses for which UPS is a vital lifeline still expect a strike to be averted, according to industry observers. AFS Logistics, which tracks the shipping industry, said UPS customers have not switched to other carriers, as might be expected if they were bracing for a work stoppage. We've not seen any shift from UPS to FedEx as people get more and more concerned over a potential strike. Michael McDonough, president of the AFS Logistics Parcel Business, told CBS Money Watch. An observation that was confirmed by Bill Sullivan, the executive vice president for advocacy on the American Trucking Association. FedEx executives said in the company's most recent investor call, while it was having a lot of great conversations with legacy UPS customers, it has yet to see an influx of new business. So people aren't transferring over with only a week to go. Thankfully, if I had to start shipping packages with a different carrier if UPS was on strike, I literally just click one button and I can start using FedEx. So it is what it is. UPS handles roughly 28% of America's shipping, almost a third. That's crazy. So a strike could cause chaos for business and individual customers. The company also has a special niche in delivering high-value items. During the pandemic, for example, UPS was one of 2 carriers, along with FedEx, chosen to deliver the first doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Oh my God. In the event a strike does happen, practically speaking, the market simply cannot soak up the 20 million parcels UPS handles each day, and a significant backlog of packages would accumulate. How much would the strike cost? A 10-day strike at UPS would cost the U.S. economy a total of more than $5 billion, according to a recent estimate from the Anderson Economic Group. So that's half a billion a day, rather. Workers would lose about $1.1 billion in wages, while customers would lose around $4 billion. The biggest losses are to people who are not striking and not connected to UPS. This is highly unusual for a strike. With a UPS strike, everyone in America will feel it. I'll give you a good example. We order my dog's medicine from Wedgwood Pharmacies. It's a specialty pharmacy, gets a special medicine, and they ship via UPS. They send us an email. They're going to ship via FedEx. Handled. The strike would also affect the broader U.S. economy and lead some small businesses to temporarily close. He noted that the United Auto Workers strike against GM in 2019 pushed the state of Michigan, where the automaker is based, into a brief recession. Will the White House intervene? Teamsters President Sean O'Brien has pointedly asked the White House to stay out of any potential strike, saying earlier this month, "We don't need anybody getting involved in this fight." But industry experts believe that President Biden, who intervened in December to defuse a threatened railroad workers' strike, would also exert pressure to avoid a stoppage that could disrupt a quarter of the nation's cargo. The derailment that this would cause to the economy would be enormous. Therefore, I think the administration is unlikely to sit by and let it happen. They would take as active a role they could possibly take, particularly in a Democratic administration. Still, 200 members of the House and Senate have pledged this week to stay out of the fight. That's a huge amount of them. And ones we don't know that haven't said anything that will stay out of it, so probably closer to 300. The Senate has 100 and the House has 458, I think, so 550. Almost half of them have pledged to stay out of it that we know of, so they're good. The Teamsters UPS contract is the largest private collective bargaining agreement, that's a CBA, in North America, and given the recent increase in attacks on employees' collective bargaining rights, it is critical that these rights are in no way undermined in the current contract negotiations, they wrote. All right, sorry guys, this video was a little bit long, but this is pretty scary. Almost a third of our packages, billions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of employees, millions, 20 million packages a day that UPS handles. This is absolutely terrifying. I only ship maybe 5 to 10 packages UPS per week when they're wholesale boxes. I might wake up tomorrow with, I know I have 2 tomorrow, probably 3. So I might ship 3 on a Monday, 1 on a Tuesday, 1 or 2 on a Wednesday, whatever you guys buy wholesale from the Shopify site. But this could be devastating for big companies. Think about companies like Chewy.com, where you might get your dog food, or my Wedgwood Pharmacy, where I get my dog's medicine. They're going to have to switch over to FedEx or do something. My ultimate opinion, though, is, and this is just my opinion, and feel free to disagree with this down below, and I'll let you guys go. I think they work out a deal by Friday. I think the stakes are way too high, the money's way too high, and I think they bend and come up with a deal that's fair for all of them. Maybe 22 an hour, 23 an hour, 22.50 an hour, meet in the middle. I don't know. They'll come up with something, and I think by Friday or Saturday they have a deal that averts the strike. What do you guys think? Will they strike or won't they strike? Will they make a deal or will they not make a deal? Leave it in the comments section below. As always, I appreciate all of you that take the time to watch these videos. It means a lot to me. If you could hit the like button and subscribe, that would mean a ton to me as well. And do check out that wholesale site. Remote controls, electronics, clothing, it's all linked down below, as well as my listing service, ProEcommercelister. Let us do all the listing for you. Just take your photos, send them to us, and we'll make your listings start to finish. You price them, submit them, done deal. I'll give you pricing, I'll give you special pricing and instructions in an email or on the website. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.